Hare Krishna. Before we go into lesson 10, let's have a quick recap of our previous lesson. Narada instructed Vyasadeva to mainly describe the pastimes of the Lord. It is obvious to know who is the Lord and what are his pastimes. The cosmic manifestation created by the Supreme Lord by his material energy is also simultaneously different and non-different from him. Achintya Beda Abeda Tattva. Independent practices of austerities, sacrifice, study of the Vedas, etc. can't yield perfection. Performance of bhakti is the conclusion of all the scriptural statements. Science, art, philosophy, physics, chemistry, psychology, and all other branches of knowledge and all similar activities engaged in the service of the Lord are all factually Hari Kirtana or glorifications of the Lord. Mercy of the devotees of the Lord is the only cause for attaining pure bhakti. Narada now speaks from his experience, the result of listening to Harikatha in association of devotees. The 4 stages of development of bhakti is as follows. Satam Kripa, mercy of the devotees. Mahat Seva, service to the great souls. Shraddha, Shashtiya Shraddha. Gurupadashraya, shelter of the Guru. Narada, who was born as the son of a certain maidservant, engaged in the service of Brahmanas who were following the principles of Vedanta. Though a child, Narada was always engaged in serving them during the monsoon season, when they decided to stay in one place. They blessed him with their causeless mercy. By their mercy, even though a boy, he developed sense control, gave up child's play and all agitation, became obedient, served attentively, and did not speak more than required. Then these qualities became the cause of further mercy. Next 5 stages of development of bhakti are described by Narada as follows. Bhajaneshu spraha, desire for bhajana. Bhakti, seva. Anartha bhagamaha, disappearance of anarthas. Nishtha, continuous hearing, chanting and remembering the Lord. Ruchi, taste for hearing and chanting in the mind. Once, only after getting their permission, he took the remnants of their food. By that, all obstacles to bhakti were destroyed. Having taken their food, he developed without effort bhakti in the form of hearing, chanting and remembering the Lord continually. Having developed a tendency for bhakti after eating their remnants, he inevitably developed a taste for hearing and chanting in the mind. Next 2 stages of development of bhakti are described by Narada as follows. Asakti and Bhava. By the mercy of the sages, who were chanting about the attractive pastimes of Krishna daily, he heard about Krishna at that place with special attention. Hearing constantly, he then developed Bhava Bhakti for Krishna. With the development of Rati Bhava, the mind and other senses, giving up the practice of fixing themselves on their material sense objects to which they had been long accustomed, became automatically fixed only on the Lord. Extending over 2 seasons, Narada heard constantly the unadulterated glories of the Lord from the sages. As the flow of Narada's devotional service, Prema Bhakti began. The coverings of the modes of passion and ignorance vanished. Narada says, though I was a boy, I had developed prema for the Lord. I was humble, sinless, filled with faith, sense-controlled, and was willing to serve. The sages, most affectionate to the fallen, as they were about to depart, taught me the most confidential knowledge of pure bhakti, which was taught by the Lord Himself. So, the association of devotees has changed Narada's life. Let us have a quick recap of today's lesson. 4 stages of development of bhakti. Satam Kripa, mercy of the devotees. Mahat Seva, service to the great souls. Shraddha, Shashtriya Shraddha. Gurupad Ashraya, shelter of the Guru. Next 5 stages of development of bhakti are described by Narada. Bhajaneshu Spraha, desire for bhajana. Bhakti, Seva. Anartha Pagamaha, disappearance of anarthas. Nishtha, continuous hearing, chanting and remembering the Lord. Ruchi, taste for hearing and chanting in the mind. Next 2 stages of development of bhakti are described by Narada, Asakti and Bhava. Narada says, though I was a boy, I had developed prema for the Lord. I was humble, sinless, filled with faith, sense-controlled, and was willing to serve. The sages, most affectionate to the fallen, as they were about to depart, taught me the most confidential knowledge of pure bhakti, which was taught by the Lord Himself. So the association of devotees has changed Narada's life.